So, are you thinking about a career as an insurance adjuster, but not quite sure where to start for your pre licensing education or exam prep? Or maybe you're already a licensed independent adjuster in need of continuing education. Well, I got you. You're about to get direction and even a discount code for your training classes, so stick around. First, there are 5 important steps needed to get your insurance adjuster license, okay? So, number one is understand the role of an insurance adjuster and determine if it's a good fit for you. While insurance adjusting is a high demand career that remains strong despite economic changes, it's not going to be for everybody. So it's important for you to have a full understanding of what the role involves and the skills needed to be successful so that it's not only financially rewarding, but it's also something that you actually enjoy doing. There's nothing worse than going to work and being miserable each and every day, okay? Next, you want to research your state requirements. You're going to need to find out if your home state requires an insurance adjuster license. While most states do, there are a few that don't, and I'm going to put those states in the description below. Number three, complete pre licensing education or exam prep and pass the licensing exam. And I'm going to dig deeper on this step in just a few moments, so we'll be back to that. Number four, apply for work. Be sure to update your resume with relevant skills, education, and prior relatable work experience. Register with independent adjusting firms or apply for adjuster trainee positions if you're interested in staff positions. And network, network, network. Number five, build skills and gain experience. Take free or low cost training offered through adjusting firms or insurance companies for staff positions. Secure additional carrier and specialty certifications, and take related software training such as Xactimate. Now, Xactimate is an estimating software program that's used by industry professionals to estimate the cost of repairs and replacements for property damage. But you want to take this training, we're try to take it either before you are deployed, if time permits, or immediately after so that you kind of know what you're doing. Now, as I mentioned in my previous videos, I took my Xactimate training at the same time I completed my pre-licensing education, and I didn't even know what it was for or even remember anything that I was taught by the time I actually got work. So to me, it was a complete waste of time and money to take it at that point in time. All right. Next, if possible, you want to shadow more experienced adjusters in your area of interest so that you can fully understand what the actual work entails and get some of your questions answered. Remember, this is your business and it's essential to market yourself, stay proactive in maintaining that hard earned license, and maximize its potential. Stay focused on why you decided to get your license in the first place and grow within the field, taking advantage of both earning opportunities and the chance to help others. Now, let's get back to step number three. When searching for and considering a company to complete your pre licensing education, exam prep, or continuing education, you're going to want a company that offers comprehensive pre licensing training. Make sure that company provides clear, state specific coursework that prepares you for the licensing exam. Next, it should offer exam prep and support. Look for study materials, practice tests, and guidance to help you pass the exam on the first attempt. Okay? And make sure that their continuing education courses meet the classroom or classroom equivalent requirement for your state's license renewal. Also, industry reputation is very important. Be sure to check reviews, testimonials, and success stories from past trainees to verify the company's credibility. People can always make things sound good, but for me, if I'm investing my time and money, I want to ensure that it's a trustworthy company that will deliver on its promises. Also, is there post training assistance? Does the company provide direction on what to do after you complete their training? Do they provide free resources and materials that can help you obtain and maintain work in the industry? These are just, some important questions to ask and should be considered when making a decision on which company to choose for your licensing needs. And what about pricing and transparency? You want to avoid companies with hidden fees or overly expensive programs that don't justify the cost, and steer clear of pushy salespeople. That's usually a red flag. Now, there is one company that I have personally used and trust for my adjuster licensing needs and meets the criteria that I just discussed. That company is Adjuster Pro, and they offer online flexible training with industry recognized courses. So, I'm about to take you through a walkthrough of their website so you can actually see firsthand what they offer and what you should be looking for when choosing a company for your licensing needs. All right, so right now I am on the home page of Adjuster Pro's website, and I'm just going to hover over the Enroll button and then click Adjuster Licensing. Really quickly, I do want to mention that I do have a 10% off discount code if you are interested in taking any of their classes for your licensing or continuing education. So that will be, the link will be in the description box below, as well as the code. All right. So some states do require pre-licensing education with the state exam, and Texas happens to be one of those states. In this box, there is a drop down, so you can select your home state or you can select what's known as your designated home state. And I'll get into what designated home state means in just a little bit. But right now, we are going to focus on the state of Texas. And once again, Texas requires that you take pre-licensing education with the state exam. Some states don't require that, but in this case, Texas does. And what that means is students need to complete the adjuster pre-licensing course and pass the included adjuster exam in order to obtain their adjuster license. But there is no additional coursework or testing that's required after that. Okay. So let's just scroll down here. So this particular course is $279. And it gives you a brief breakdown of everything that's included here, but I'm going to click on View Full Details, and that way you'll see more of a breakdown of everything that would be included. So it tells you here to the far left, you get a certificate of completion, interactive question study bank, unlimited practice exams. You get a printable glossary. There's also optional course audio narration. Obviously, people learn different ways. So if you learn better by hearing versus reading, you have that option, which is great. You get customizable flashcards, reporting, there's customer service, and you also get lifetime access to your course. And I'll explain the importance of this a little bit later. All right. And then at the top, well, actually, I'm going to scroll down just a little so you can see this. This is a 100% online and self-paced study on demand course. Okay, you can take this course via your computer or mobile device, which is very convenient. Take it at your leisure. Okay, also, it's stating that for this particular state, you have to pass the state exam with a 70%, but they are stating that you want to consistently achieve 90% or higher on all quizzes and practice exams before even trying to take the adjuster exam, the real one. So that's why they give you unlimited practice exams, because they want to make sure that you're going to be able to pass on the first try. I don't know about you, but I don't like taking tests over and over again. So they give you the opportunity to make sure and set you up for success so that once you are ready, you will pass. Okay, so that's really great there. So at the top, you're also going to see some additional tabs here. You have course preview. And what course preview does, I'm not going to click on the video, but what it does when you watch this video, it's going to give you a visual representation of all of these items here that's included in the course. So that is awesome. I know for me, I'm a visual person. So seeing what I purchase, what I will be purchasing ahead of time, that's going to help give you more of an idea of what you will be spending your money on. Okay. Then you get a tab that shows recent reviews of previous students that took the course. And then you have a course outline. So this is all of the content that is included in this particular course. All right. So that is the state of Texas. And then I'm just going to go back to that first page we were previously on. I'm going to scroll down here. And you can see here there are some additional recommendations that they have listed. The course is offered in Spanish as well. And then just some additional course listings for Texas. Okay, so if you just want some additional education, if you want some additional courses to list on your resume, possibly, you have that available. And then at the bottom of the page, you have the FAQ section, which is always great. FAQ is going to answer any questions that you may have that may not be listed in the breakdown of the course section. So it tells you
So here's an example. What's the difference between all lines and P&C? I'm going to actually dig deeper into this. That's why I didn't really mention it previously, but I do want to explain the importance of having an all lines adjuster license. And the actual course that Texas offers is for an all lines adjuster, as you can see. Okay. This particular course is for a Texas All Lines adjuster. So going back to that FAQ page, I mean, it answers questions, especially if you're new. Having these questions answered prior to even taking the course is going to give you an idea if this is something that you even want to pursue. Okay. And if you do want to pursue it, it'll just answer questions that I'm sure you have as a new adjuster. So that's very, very helpful there. Going back to that question about all lines adjusting or being an all lines adjuster. Why is that important, you ask? Well, let me go ahead and tell you.
So, an all lines license qualifies you to handle claims across all types of insurance, and that includes property and casualty, workers' compensation, and other specialized areas. It's the most comprehensive license available, ensuring you're not just limited to residential claims only or just auto claims, even if that's your primary focus. By obtaining an all lines license, it increases your ability to secure the widest range of reciprocal licenses, and states only grant reciprocal licenses that match the lines of authority covered by your home state or a designated home state license. So, for instance, if your home state license is for workers' compensation, you're not only going to be, or actually, you are going to only be eligible for a reciprocal license in workers' compensation because it has to match. You're not going to qualify for reciprocal licenses in property and casualty or all lines. All right. Now, at this point, you are probably wondering, what is a reciprocal license? And I get it. So let me go ahead and help you. Reciprocity means an adjuster holding a home state license can successfully apply for an equivalent license in another state, but without having to take that state's exam or pre licensing course. Now, how cool is that? Okay, so I have a Texas home state license, but guess what? I also have 30 other state licenses that I didn't even have to take a class or a test for. Now, don't get it twisted. I did have to pay for those licenses, but you have to look at it as an investment. That's how I look at it. Because having those additional licenses helped me secure work, and it kept me working since that is one of the things that adjusting firms and insurance carriers look for when hiring independent adjusters for work. And keep in mind that not all states offer the same types of licenses. So, to avoid potential reciprocal application denials, obtaining an all lines license is going to be your best option. And as I've mentioned, it covers the most lines of authority and offers the broadest reciprocity. Now, I know that was a lot, but hopefully that gave you more of an understanding on the reasons for obtaining your all lines license if it's offered by your home state.
Mentioned some states do not require an insurance adjuster license to actually work claims. And one of those states, there are actually several, and I'm going to have a list of all of the states in my description box so you'll know which states don't require a license. But one of them is Wisconsin. And I want to take you to this page so that you can gain an understanding on why that's not needed. So it states here, Wisconsin does not license insurance adjusters, but what you can do is get a designated home state license. I'm going to quickly scroll down to the FAQ section here because once again, the FAQ section for each state on this website is going to be based off of the state's requirements. And so because this is a non-licensing state, the questions are going to be different from, say, a California or a Texas. So the second question here is, what is a DHS license or designated home state license? So here it answers that question for you. It says that a designated home state license basically works just like having your home state license and is vital if you want to work any claims outside of your non-licensing state. So if you want to grow in this field and if you want to be successful and handle many claims, and if you want to get referred to work through your adjusting firm, you're going to want to have a designated home state license, okay? And it also offers great reciprocity, which I'm going to get into further as well. That is what it means to have a designated home state license. So for Wisconsin, because it's a non-licensing state, just kind of going back, so they offer they offer this insurance adjuster designated home state license package or course. And they are recommending Florida as your designated home state. And I'm guessing that's because Florida has fewer exam questions. And it's also been stated that they have the quickest application turnaround time. However, there are other states that do offer designated home state licenses, such as Texas. So you're not just limited to Florida, but this particular company is recommending Florida. And for this course, it's $299. I'm sure if you contact them, they have a chat button here over to the bottom right, or at the top here, you can contact them. And the phone number is listed here at the bottom. Okay. So you can contact them to, ask what the cost would be if you want to get, say, your designated home state licenses in Texas or, one of the other states other than Florida that's listed. All right. Now, for those states that do not require pre-licensing education, I'm not talking about the states that don't require an adjuster's license, like Wisconsin that I just showed. I'm talking about those states that don't require pre-licensing education, but do require an adjuster license to adjust claims. It's still beneficial and highly recommended to complete an exam prep course just to ensure that you do pass the state exam, which would need to be taken separately at a later time. So one of those states, I'm just going to go back to that main page here, and one of those states is California. So I'm just going to show you an example of California. To take the exam prep course, it's $179. So I actually want to come back here to the main page that states what's included with the exam prep course. So one of the items that's included, which is lifetime access to your course, this is extremely helpful because as an independent adjuster, sometimes you can become a bit rusty in some areas, especially during the times that you're not on assignment. And if you're not putting to use what you've previously learned, it can be forgotten. Okay. So this is great that they offer this lifetime access because this way you're able to go back and take a refresher training at no additional cost to help prepare you for your next deployment. So that's very, very helpful. And then the additional training that they have listed is helpful as well because if you're brand new to this industry like I was, these additional optional trainings are going to help familiarize you with what you need to know to be a successful adjuster, accurately assess damage, and also provide a great customer experience. So that's very, very helpful. And speaking of customer experience, you see that they also have a customer service training. Now, this tells you, obviously, just how important customer service is in this field. Now, let me tell you, when I started, I had no clue what I was doing, but I was great at customer service, which helped me get called back for work until my other adjusting skills caught up. And I'm still learning. Carriers want to make sure that you're treating their customers right because that is how they stay in business. Now, obviously, you're going to need to know some basic skills related to adjusting and understanding policy as part of the job. But customer service is at the core of everything we do. All right, so I'm just going to scroll back up here. Now I'm going to move on to continuing education, which as you can see, there's a tab right on that same page that breaks down the different courses that are available. You just click that top tab that says continuing education, and that's an essential part of maintaining your adjuster license. I mean, after all the hard work you put into getting the license, why risk losing it just because you didn't stay on top of the required training? Okay, please don't let that happen and have to end up having to start all over. So when you click continuing education, it's going to list now. Typically, there are 24 hours that's needed in order to maintain your license. And so, as you can see here, they have two packages that are available. The cost is minimal, $49. And I'm just going to click view full details so that you can see everything that's included in the package. And it's going to tell you here um, some important notes. So you may not receive credit for continuing education until after you've received your adjuster license. So you want to make sure you get your license first. And then also you're going to have at least 3 hours of ethics when you are doing continuing education. So it's going to break down the different courses that are included with the number of hours um, for each course as well. And as you can see here, ethics is included in this particular package, and it tells you that it meets that hour requirement. So that is great. I'm just going to go back So they have the packages with the classes that are already included that they've selected within the package. Or if you don't like the classes that they have included in the package, you can create your own package. So if you scroll down, it lists all of the classes that are available to take within that state. It lists the price, as well, a description. There are different ethics courses as well that meet that hourly requirement. So this is a way that you can just pretty much piece your own package together, which is very, very nice. Okay. All right. And then also, finally, I do want to mention that it doesn't matter what state you're on, whether it's Texas, California, Wisconsin, whatever, you're going to get information on the licensing fees, if there's fingerprinting involved, if you have to retake the exam, how much does that cost? So that's really nice that they have that as well. And then any other questions that you have, also. And also, it just gives like a brief breakdown of why you should choose Adjuster Pro. Once again, it goes back to making sure that the company that you do choose to get your licensing through is a reputable company that's been around for some time, and check those reviews and testimonials online. I always say don't check the reviews on the company's website, because obviously they're going to list the best reviews on their website. Okay. You want to check reviews that are not listed on their website. That's going to be very, very helpful.
So in the beginning, I mentioned a discount. If you do decide to go with Adjuster Pro, you can get 10% off any course by clicking the link in the description box and using the code listed as well. Also, visit my website at www.adjusterlife.com, that is life with a Y, and get my easy to follow resource guide. You can also get a free Adjuster Career Checklist as well. Like, subscribe, and comment if you found this information helpful. And if you're looking to gain a better understanding about the career, check out this playlist right here. And finally, embrace the lessons, celebrate your victories, and persevere through difficulties. I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.